Here we go then. Here's another banger, a non-rehearsed, non-scripted, do it on the fly video. So hopefully you'll follow it all the way through and you'll learn something. Right. If you looked at my previous video, I just put a new knobbly on the front of my bike, because there's the old tyre lying on the floor behind it. Well, while I was fitting the knobbly, I found that my caliper was in need of service. So I'm going to show you now how to service a caliper. Oh, the only thing I've got wrong in this equation is I've put the camera right where I need to stand. So I'm gonna have to sort that out a minute. Right. Now that I can stand where I needed to stand, the camera is in a place where it's not best for you. So I'll try my best to keep you in the picture while I do what I gotta do. Here we go now. So this bike's new to me and it's been in the salty weather. The caliper has not been sliding properly on the sliding pins, which has worn the pads out unevenly, and also the pistons, although they look clean now because I give them a bit of a wipe already, they are quite grotty. We need to clean them up. So what we're going to do, we're going to get a bit of a scratchy and we're going to place this is actually step 2. I've jumped step 1, but what I'll do is I'll come back to step 1 in a minute, because I don't want to do step 1 live because it involves using a dirty piston. I'm just about to clean them, so we've got to get that around the piston. It's a two-handed job. It's not easy to film, and it's also a bit of a ball. But basically, I'm going to go right around the back. Look. So this is a bit like when you got that itch you can't get rid of, so you just stick a towel between your legs and you pull it backwards and forwards. Oh, actually, that's probably too much information. Anyway, that's what you're trying to do, but what you ideally want to do is get it just around the one piston. Right, now while I'm doing that, I've got to keep looking at the camera just to see that you can still see what I'm playing at. Oh, actually, there you go. How good can you see? I've pretty much got all the cack off of that one in a couple of scrapes. So because I've got the cack off of that one and a couple of scrapes, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you step 1. And step 1 really, to get your rattle retainer out, you got to push both the pistons back in. Now, all you got to do is push like that with your thumbs. If your piston does not go back in, as easy as that did, then you've probably got a bit of swelling on the aluminium grooves where the seals sit. Because when the aluminium gets water in there and corrodes, it goes frosty, which pushes the rubber seal against the piston. That in turn jams the piston, which in turn makes your brakes stick on. I've covered that in another video. I cover all these things in videos, but because people don't watch them all the way from the start to the back, the algorithm gets the zag and it buries my content. Therefore, there's all loads of useful stuff that I've put on the internet, but you can't see it unless you search for it, because YouTube hides it. Now, if I was some sort of Asian clown that ran around jumping in rivers full of crocodiles, or just ate as many pies as I could in 10 minutes, I'd have like 400 million views, but this is the kind of world we live in. Anyway, back to the second one. Now I can get at that one a lot easier now, because I ain't got the first one in the way. So we'll get that around there. It would be easier if it were a little bit like half the width of this scratchy. That would make the job easier, but we're there now. Here I am. I'm giving it a tug whilst giving it a scratch, and I've also got to get my nose in the camera just to make sure you can see what I'm doing. Oh God, the complexities of life. I sometimes wonder how the hell I keep going on. And you might notice if you do watch my videos that I do go on. It's probably because I'm mad and I got no one else to talk to. Look at that. Look at that, eh? Just a few little scrubs and we're all lovely and shiny. So what we're going to do now, I'm going to do a bit of thumb action. These gloves are broke already. Just shove that back in the hole. All the way back in. And if it goes in without any grief, your work here is complete. Now, I did mention that I'd skip step one because I'd already done it, but step one is take your left hand, that's that one, yeah? You could take your right hand if you were like the other way around, but like I'm using my left hand. I'm going to take that up to the brake lever and I'm going to start. Oh God, can you still see? Right, I'll try not to move my right hand. Right, what I'm doing now is no I'm not, yes I am, I'm squeezing the brake lever, look. See the piston coming out? You'll be surprised how far that'll come out before it pops out, but don't take it all the way out. What you want to do now, put your thumb in and hold that one, grip it so it can't come out anymore. And if your caliper's nice and free, your second one starts playing ball. Look at that. And once you've got them both equal, there, just gently squeeze on your brake lever, and there you go, your pistons are out. So that was actually step one. We got this ass about face because that's how I like to do things. So now we're just going to push them back in, look, one at a time. Right, that's one. That's two. If you can't do that like that, you have got sticky pistons. There. And I've got a knackered glove. The next stage whoops, of a caliper service is to clean these pins up and get some lube on them. Now, I'm just going to try and shave 10 seconds off the video by doing that off shot. Right, so your front brake, if you use it with gay abandon, as we used to say, us older people, but it means a completely different thing these years. If you like to use your front brake a lot, you will generate a lot of heat. And if you generate heat, what you'll do is you'll boil all the good bits out of the grease. So you don't want to use any ordinary old grease. You want to use some high temperature grease. Now, because I'm not in my regular workshop, I haven't got any high temperature grease, but I did find this stuff when I booted a tenant out a few months back. And guess what it says on the label? I'll read it because I can see it's not focusing. It says, multi-purpose high melting point grease, protection from corrosion and wear. And it does say for wheel bearings, chassis plumbing, universal joints, and many other applications. It doesn't say anything about eating it though, so just in case you're a Gen Z, I would say to you, do not eat it. Thank you. Now looking at this stuff, which still isn't focused, that might be better, and looking at it, it doesn't exactly make my nipples explode with delight, but it is what it is, and it's all that I've got. Now, because I do regular maintenance on my bikes, I will be keeping an eye on it to see if it works or if it doesn't work. I would advise you to do the following. Now, we're going to get that back in there, which means I've got to come around here. And I've got to try and hope that you can still see what I'm doing, because I'm not looking at my phone while I'm working. I'm making a nice old mess out. Now I can stand up now and I can look at my phone whilst I work out which way around I've got to put this. Are you getting this the right way around or the wrong way round? Right, I need a rag. If you whack too much grease on there, you can create an airlock and you can get the slider to go back on, but you'll hear a crackling noise as you force the air out. Otherwise, your slider should do this, just like that. Now, at the bottom, at the bottom of the rubber bellows there is like a little lip that's supposed to pop over the metal on the caliper, but by pushing it in you should have done enough to seat it anyway, if it's all working lovely jubbly. That's impossible to see probably on shot, but that is firmly on the lip. Now put your retainer back in. Only fits one way. There's two lugs, see them there? Two lugs sticking up, and there's two slots down behind the pistons. This won't go in unless the pistons are in. Snap that home. Make sure it's back in the hole, right back in the bottom of the hole. You'll soon find out if it isn't, because it won't fit on the bike. And all you do then, make sure you put your brake pipe inside of the dust cover, otherwise you'll get people on the internet giving you one hell of a lambasting because you put the brake pipe on the wrong side of the fork leg. And then you just put the brake pipe, you put the brake caliper back on the bike as you would regularly, pop the pads in, and then you squeeze the lever until the brake works, and then you go off the pub to the pub so you can get some Wi-Fi so you can upload the video. There, we've got that in 11.5 minutes. Whoopee! Later.